If you're thinking about selling your home sometime soon here in 2025, I want to give you three things that you should be considering that are off, different than stuff that you're going to hear normally from agents or pundits or whatever as you start making decisions, not only about putting your home on the market or not, and or what type of buyers you may get and what buyers are looking for, what challenges you might have. So we're only going to briefly talk about three things. The first one I'm going to talk about is climate change and insurance challenges. So here in California, the areas that I'm working at, for instance, due to certain things with the climate and our situation for fires has increased dramatically. And we've had some major fires, unfortunately, even more major than some that we've had in the past. So guess what? Now, insurance on your home is a challenge. Getting insurance on your home when you're purchasing is a challenge. And if you are, you know, um, close to qualifying or barely qualifying for a certain price point, right now the insurance could knock you out the box. To whereas there might have been something where a year ago, 2 years ago, it may have been $1,500 annually to insure that property, and now that same property it may be 3,500, $4,000 annually to insure it for fire. A lot of people in California have had to go on the California Fair Plan, get their escrows closed, which is there's nothing wrong. It's great that California has a fair plan, but the coverage is very minimal. It's very minimal, and it really just does the basics and requirement. So that crisis is not only affecting people looking to buy right now, but it's also affecting some existing homeowners, as a lot of the major companies pulled out of California and just gave notices to people that have been with them for years that are in good standing that they just were no longer writing policies. And you got like 60 days or whatever it is to find you some more insurance. If you don't believe that's happening, I'm telling you it's happening because it happened to us. So that's just part of the deal. Okay. But it's something to know if you're selling your home, to understand that you may have to help buyers. Maybe your existing policy, the buyers can assume that, or they'll still write for the new buyer. Just different things to consider. Number two, buyer preferences change all the time, but because of climate and expenses and utilities and things like that, and some of the new builds that are coming in with looking for smart panels, eco-friendly homes, solar panels, you are starting to see, well, not just starting, but buyers are looking for things like that if it helps them on a monthly basis maintain their homes as far as bills, in regards to utilities, things like that, and just for things out of necessity. Maybe they're out of the home a lot, and for their alarm systems and surveillance and all that stuff, they need smart homes. Maybe they need that for childcare, just different things. But you're starting to see that even more with buyers than you were previously. There's just a more conscious effort of that. Sellers, if you are getting solar, before you put solar on your home, understand what that means. Are you buying it? Are you purchasing it? Are you leasing it? And what are the effects of when you decide to make a decision to sell your home? What happens to the solar? If it's paid off, does it have, or if it's not paid off, does it have to be paid off through escrow? If you're leasing it, does the buyer have to qualify, which they do in most cases, for the solar payment? Let me tell you something. In most cases, when buyers are being pre-approved for their loans, they're not being pre-approved for an amount that includes solar. So if your solar payment, it may only be $100, $200 a month to you, but that may be the difference between your buyer qualifying or not qualifying for a loan. So you got to be aware of it, prepare for it. And one of the best times to be aware of it and prepare for it is when you first put it on. So you know what you have, and then you and your real estate professional can come up with a plan and a strategy to still net you the most money you can for your property. So these are just 3 things, and these are off the cuff different things that you're not hearing normally, that hopefully gives you a few extra things to think about when you're getting ready to sell your home, particularly if you need to, and maybe you don't need to sell it, and maybe you shouldn't be on the market. And remember, no matter what you're going through in life, it's just a temporary condition. Things change. But guess what? It truly is. It's a great life. And God bless you.